It was a rainy night when life, as Daniel knew it, changed forever. The sound of the rain hitting the windshield was drowned out by the frantic pounding of his heart. He had been driving for hours, exhausted after a full day of work at the factory, when his headlights fell upon an accident. His first instinct was to keep going, to just drive past. But then he saw her, lying on the road, barely conscious, blood trickling from her forehead. Daniel pulled over without thinking twice. His mind went blank as he rushed to her side, calling for help. But in that moment, as he knelt beside her, he had no idea that this encounter would set him on a journey that would change his life in ways he could never have imagined. Chapter 1. A Life Built on Struggle. Daniel had always been a man of few words. His life was a quiet, humble one. A single father raising his 7-year-old daughter, Emma, after the tragic death of his wife in a car accident. They lived in a small apartment on the edge of town, just scraping by, each day filled with its own challenges. Daniel worked long hours at a factory doing menial labor just to provide for Emma. His life, though tough, had been predictable. Emma was his light, his reason for everything he did. He lived for her smile, her laughter, and the warmth she brought into their small, humble home. He didn't have much, but he had her, and that was enough for him. But things hadn't always been easy. After his wife's death, Daniel struggled to balance work and taking care of Emma. There were days when he felt like giving up, like the weight of the world was too much to bear. The bills piled up, the rent was overdue, and he couldn't afford to take Emma to the doctor when she was sick. Yet every morning he woke up, did his best, and gave Emma all the love he could. It was all he knew to do. Chapter 2. The Turning Point. The night of the accident was a turning point Daniel never expected. When he found the young woman unconscious on the road, he didn't hesitate to help her. It wasn't until the ambulance arrived and the paramedics took her to the hospital that he realized how much his life had just changed. Her name was Lily, a young woman from a wealthy family. She was a daughter of a high-profile businessman. But that night, none of that mattered. What mattered was the kindness Daniel had shown her, a kindness that didn't care about status, money, or who they were. She was in critical condition, and it was Daniel's swift actions that saved her life. Weeks passed, and Lily's family, grateful for Daniel's help, reached out to him. They wanted to thank him, but Daniel, being who he was, didn't want anything in return. But Lily, despite her family's insistence, felt a deep connection to Daniel. She asked to meet him. When they finally met, Daniel was hesitant. He wasn't used to people from her world, but Lily was different. She wasn't like the others who looked at him with judgment or pity. She saw him, truly saw him. As they talked, Lily learned about Daniel's life, his struggles, and his dedication to Emma. She could relate to him in ways she never expected. She had been raised with wealth, but it was only recently that she realized how empty her life had felt. Meeting Daniel, a man who didn't have much but gave everything, made her realize the true value of kindness, sacrifice, and love. It changed something in her. Chapter 3. An Unexpected Bond. Over the next few months, Lily and Daniel's bond grew stronger. Despite their differences, they shared a quiet understanding. Lily wanted to help Daniel and Emma, but Daniel was fiercely independent. He had learned to rely on no one but himself. But Lily was persistent. She found small ways to support them, helping Emma with school supplies, buying groceries, and even offering to pay for their overdue rent. Daniel was reluctant at first. He didn't want to accept charity, but Lily never once made him feel inferior. She simply wanted to give back the kindness he had shown her. As they spent more time together, Daniel began to see Lily not just as a rich girl from a different world, but as a person who truly understood his struggles. But the biggest challenge lay ahead. Daniel was about to face an unexpected turn in his life, a turn that would test his belief in fate, his ability to trust others, and his dedication to his daughter. Chapter 4. The Offer. It was a regular evening when Daniel received an unexpected call. It was from Lily's father, Richard, a man with wealth and influence. Richard wanted to meet Daniel to discuss something important. Daniel was nervous, unsure of what to expect. He had never been comfortable around people like Richard, people who seemed to have everything he didn't. But Lily insisted that he go, and so he did. When Daniel arrived at Richard's office, The man was all smiles, offering him a seat and coffee. "I've heard a lot about you, Daniel," Richard began. "Your daughter, Emma, is lucky to have such a devoted father." Daniel shifted uncomfortably. He had never been one for praise, especially from someone like Richard. Richard continued, "I want to offer you something, an opportunity, if you will. My company is looking for someone with your work ethic, someone who's not afraid of hard work. I want you to come work for me. We could offer you a much higher salary, benefits, and a stable future for you and your daughter." Daniel sat in stunned silence. The offer was tempting, yes, but it felt like a dream. This wasn't the life he had ever imagined for himself. He had always believed that hard work was the only path to success. But here was someone offering him a shortcut, one that could change everything for Emma's future. Chapter 5. The Decision. As Daniel mulled over the offer, he faced a battle within himself. Could he accept help from someone like Richard? Was it right to accept something that seemed too good to be true? He had worked so hard all his life, had struggled and sacrificed, and now here was a chance for a better life. But was he willing to let go of his pride and trust that life had something bigger in store for him? Daniel spent days thinking it over. Lily supported him throughout, encouraging him to make the decision that was right for him. And Emma, "You've worked so hard, Daniel. You deserve this. Don't let pride get in the way of your happiness," she said. In the end, Daniel accepted the offer. It was a leap of faith, a decision that would change the course of his life. The transition wasn't easy. He had to adjust to a new environment, new responsibilities, and a new way of living. But with each passing day, Daniel grew stronger. He saw the opportunities that were now available to him. His hard work had finally paid off. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. Years passed, and Daniel's life flourished in ways he had never imagined. He was no longer struggling to make ends meet. His job with Richard's company brought financial stability, and he was able to give Emma a better life, a life filled with opportunities. He bought a house in a quiet neighborhood far from the stress and worry of his past. But what meant the most to Daniel was the bond he had built with Lily. She had become more than just a friend. She was family. She had taught him that sometimes accepting help wasn't a sign of weakness, it was a sign of strength. And through it all, Daniel had never lost sight of his true priorities, his daughter, and the love they shared. Daniel's journey from struggling single father to successful businessman was one of unexpected turns, but it was a journey filled with hope, kindness, and love. It was proof that sometimes life doesn't follow the path we expect. It throws challenges our way, but with faith, perseverance, and the support of others, we can overcome them and find success. To all the single parents out there, to all those who feel like they're stuck in a never-ending cycle of struggle, remember, kindness, hard work, and the willingness to trust the right people can lead to unexpected blessings. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of this story resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories that inspire and uplift.